Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from that group. We will explain about hypothesis about second language learners language. The first point is the interlanguage hypothesis. The term interlanguage was coined by Selinker and elaborated in an influential paper bearing the title Interlanguage to refer to language learners. Language is a separate linguistic system based on the observable output which results from a learner's attempt production of TL norms. Selinker put forward 5 processes as being central to second language learning. For the first, language transfer. The second, overgeneralization. The third, transfer of training. Second, language learning strategies, and the last is second language communication strategies. For this diagram shows transfer from the source language, transfer of training from TL, and overgeneralization are horizontal processes which influence the form of the interlanguage. The other two processes cannot be handled in terms of any horizontal description since they don't involve any transfer either from the source or from the TL. According to Mr. Miss Laulin, the term interlanguage means two things. First, the learner's system at a single point in time, and the range of interlocking systems that characterize the development of learner's language over time. The proponents of this theory maintain that the language learner's language should be studied in its own right. The next slide is the approximative system hypothesis. Closely related to the interlanguage hypothesis is the approximative system hypothesis introduced by Nemser. This hypothesis emphasizes the developmental nature of the learner's language science with the addition of new elements. The learner's linguistic system is continually being modified and developed. According to Nemser, the acquisition of a second language involves systematic stage with an approximative system at each stage. The proponents of the approximative system hypothesis maintain that the learner's language is directional and evolving in successive stages. In other words, a second language learner goes through different stages, with each stage gradually approximating the target language. This is illustrated below. Native language, and then approximative system, and the last is target language. The main difference between the approximative system hypothesis and the interlanguage hypothesis is that the latter emphasizes the structurally intermediate status of the learner's language system between mother tongue and target language, while the former emphasizes the transitional and dynamic nature of the system in successive stages of development. The next is the idiosyncratic dialect. The learner's language is referred to by Pete Carter as idiosyncratic dialect to emphasize The idea that the learned language is unique to a particular individual and the grammar of this language is peculiar to that individual alone. Carter maintains that idiosyncratic dialects are regular, systematic, meaningful, and unstable. Carter further explain that the language of the second language learners is not the only kind of idiosyncratic dialect. Carter further claims that every sentence produced by the second language learners is to be regarded as idiosyncratic until otherwise. A learned sentence, therefore, may be superficially well formed and yet idiosyncratic. Okay, for the last session, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.